Hi everyone, thanks for checking out this video. So this video is going to be a lot different from most of the videos I make on this channel. So most of the videos I make are like technical tutorials about computer programming and computational biology, which is my main like full-time civilian career. But this video is going to be about another part of my life. So in addition to my like main civilian career as a scientist, I'm also a reservist in the Coast Guard, and this is going to be a informational video for people who are colorblind, who are thinking about possibly signing up for the Coast Guard and wondering what jobs and career paths in the Coast Guard are open to colorblind people. And just a quick disclaimer, like this isn't any like official information on behalf of the Coast Guard or something. This is just some like informal advice I have as someone who is colorblind and was kind of in your shoes at one point thinking about joining and wondering what kind of jobs I have to choose from. And also another disclaimer, this is information from when I was signing up like 5 years ago. So I don't think anything has changed about these rules since then, but it's possible there could have been some like small changes that I could be missing here. But yeah, this is at least how it was when I was signing up 5 years ago. Yeah, so just a little bit about me. So this is a picture of me and my coworker, whose face I blocked out because I don't know if he wants to be on YouTube or not. But this is just me on one of my Coast Guard Reserve drill weekends, coming back from inspecting a ship in New York Harbor. So yeah, like I said, I've been in the reserves for like 5 years now. I've been activated to active duty a couple times, once for Hurricane Harvey back in like 2017, and then once for the COVID pandemic. I was on active duty orders related to the COVID pandemic during that time. And so the reason I'm making this video is that I found that I'm like very happy with my decision to sign up for the Coast Guard. But at the same time, it's not going to be the right decision for everybody. So this is a video about people who are like thinking about signing up, wondering like if it's the right decision for you. So yeah, I mean, if you're watching this video, like my target audience is people who are in the same shoes I was in like 5 years ago, meaning that you've just watched the movie The Guardian with Ashton Kutcher. And then you've just watched this movie and you're thinking like, whoa, this is awesome. Like, should I possibly sign up for the Coast Guard? And so this video is going to be partly like raining on your parade, just saying that like if you're colorblind, you're not going to be like jumping out of helicopters, like rescuing people, saving lives, and like cool stuff like that, like in the movie. So it's going to be partly like raining on your parade about that stuff, but it's going to be partly about like kind of the bright side, like cool opportunities that you can possibly do that are open to you. And I think that with like colorblindness, when you're like signing up for the military or like the maritime industry, it kind of depends like what you make of it in your own mindset. Like you can view the glass as half empty, in terms of like the limitations that are placed on you, like jobs that you can't do. But I think it's better to view the glass as half full and be an optimist. Because if you think about it, there's actually a lot of medical conditions where if you have them, you're automatically disqualified from joining the military at all, and you're just not allowed to join. But colorblindness isn't one of those. So colorblindness, if you have it, it's like, yes, it does limit what you're allowed to do, but you're not disqualified from joining. Like it could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? It could be like a lot of medical conditions. You're just automatically disqualified from joining. But colorblindness, you are allowed to join, and there are some actually cool opportunities that are open to you, even though there are also a lot of limitations. So this video is just about some information about that, in case you're thinking about what opportunities are open to you. So the first big limitation, and this is maybe the biggest limitation, is that if you're colorblind, you're not allowed to become an officer. And the reason for that actually does make sense. So the thing with officers in the seagoing services like the Coast Guard and the Navy, they're supposed to be able to, in theory, like take command of a ship if they're needed to. And to be in command of a ship, you need to be able to like know things about navigation, which involves like red and green lights for nautical navigation. And if you're like, for those of us like me and probably you watching this, if you're colorblind, like obviously you would not be able to do that successfully. But you are allowed to become an enlisted person. And my advice here is even if you already have a college degree, there's no shame in being an enlisted person. I think of how to like say this, but it's like, even if you already have a college degree, like, don't think that you're like too good to be an enlisted person, because like, I decided to just enlist, and especially on the reserve side, a lot of the enlisted workforce actually does have they do have like college degrees. They're like pretty like highly educated and stuff. So I guess my advice here, all I'm trying to say is, like, even if you already have a college degree and you find out you're not allowed to become an officer, going the enlisted route can still be a legitimate career path to consider. And then there's this other thing here, warrant officers. So this is kind of like a lesser known thing that people outside of the military don't really know about. But yeah, like, everyone kind of knows that there's officers who are like the command. They're the ones kind of the bosses and supervisors and things like that. And then there's enlisted people. They're kind of like the workers, I guess, of the workforce. And then warrant officers are they're like a smaller group that's between commissioned officers and enlisted people. Warrant officers are this like smaller third group that's made up of subject matter experts, and they're this like rank that's between enlisted and officer. And as far as I know, I think there are some like warrant officer career paths open to colorblind people. But my advice here is don't start getting ahead of yourself with that, because the difference with warrant officers compared to commissioned officers and enlisted is that you can become a commissioned officer or an enlisted person right from being a civilian. You can like go to the academy or go to OCS and become an officer, and you can go to boot camp and become an enlisted person like straight away to begin your career. But to become a warrant officer, you can't really do that directly from being a civilian. To become a warrant officer, you have to first be an enlisted person and then work your way up through the enlisted ranks for probably like 10 years or so. And then once you're at like the higher enlisted ranks, then you can apply to be a warrant officer. So I do think that there are some warrant officer openings that are open to colorblind people, but I would just say, like, don't get ahead of yourself with that, because if you're not even sure if you're going to join yet, like, to become a warrant officer is going to take like probably like 10 to 15 years as an enlisted person first before you can even apply for that. So I'll just say, I think that is open to colorblind people, but like, don't get too ahead of yourself with that. But yeah, the main, if you're thinking about joining, like, your career path as a colorblind person is going to be as an enlisted person. But yeah, like I said, don't let that like discourage you too much, because that can be like a totally rewarding and legitimate like career path to consider. Okay, so this is a list of all of the ratings in the Coast Guard. And again, like, rating just means like enlisted job specialty. So these are all of the enlisted job specialties in the Coast Guard. These are the ones open to colorblind people. So yeah, so like, not a lot of them, only a couple, and even two of these, I'm not even sure if two of these, musician and investigator, I'm not even sure if these ones are open to colorblind people, because these are kind of like unusual ratings that you have to take like a special kind of unusual path to get to them. I would say if you're interested in like either of those, like, talk to a recruiter about it, because I don't even really know like how you would become like a musician. But yeah, these other ones here are like the regular ratings that are open to colorblind people. So yeah, it's not a lot of them, but it's like I said, like, through the whole process, like, try to be optimistic, and just, I always remind myself that it's like, I'm lucky I don't have like a more serious medical condition that would have like disqualified me entirely. Like, I just consider myself lucky that I was even like allowed to join in any capacity. You know what I mean? So it is kind of like a bummer, but try to look on the bright side, and just, it's like, you still are allowed to join, and can still do like cool work. So try to like look on the bright side of that. Yeah, so I'll like quickly like go through these choices and kind of like tell you guys the basics of them. But you can find more information on the Coast Guard website too. But yeah, so this one here, Marine Science Technician, called MST for the abbreviation. This is my job, actually. This is my rating in the Coast Guard. And so basically what marine science technicians do, we basically do inspections of port facilities and ships to make sure they're following like the environmental regulations and like the workplace safety regulations. and it's pretty cool work. Again, it's not as cool as being like Ashton Kutcher jumping out of helicopters. You know what I mean? It's not that cool. But it is pretty cool, and it is like rewarding and important work because you're trying to like make sure that like the maritime commerce is being conducted in a way that's like safe for the environment and also like safe for all the people involved. And I would say this job is also it's related to being an environmental scientist in the civilian world. Like if you're trying to eventually become like a civilian environmental scientist, this could be a good path to go down. Because actually, like my girlfriend is a environmental scientist in the civilian world, and actually some of the qualifications like she's had to get in her job are the same like qualifications and like certifications I had to get in the Coast Guard Reserve. So yeah, if you're trying to become like an environmental scientist down the line, then this could be like something cool to consider. Public affairs specialist. This is kind of like a yeah, it's like a public relations person. I don't know if I've ever met any of these people actually, at least on the reserve side. But yeah, it's kind of similar to being like a yeah, like public relations person. I think you do like press releases and you kind of do journalism within the Coast Guard or something. Like you might be like taking pictures of some interesting event or something or interesting operation, and then maybe like writing up like an article about it or something. I think that's what they do. Actually, I don't think I've ever met any of these people, so I actually don't really know what they do. But yeah, like talk to a recruiter or go on the Coast Guard website for information about that, I guess. So okay, a storekeeper. So this job is like kind of inventory management and involves like yeah, managing inventory. I think both of ships as well as like warehouses on land. I think it involves like both like the manual labor aspect as well as kind of the administrative aspect of like buying supplies and things like that. So yeah, I think that's kind of that job. And then this one, culinary specialist. These are the cooks. So if you're into cooking, or if you're not into cooking and you want to like learn how to cook, this could be a cool career path. And then so the next one is yeomans. So these are basically like the administrative like HR people. So they do like the HR, human resources, paperwork, things like that, within the Coast Guard. So personally, in my opinion, like everyone has their own interests and what they find to be exciting and interesting. I personally would not really find this to be an interesting like career path myself because I just I don't find it to be super exciting. I think it's a lot of like paperwork and like kind of administrative stuff. But one of the positive things about this is that like the yeoman skills are skills that I think could like very easily translate over to the civilian world. So if you're trying to eventually get like a civilian career in like a corporate environment or kind of doing like corporate management stuff or like administrative stuff or like kind of corporate HR, then the skills you would pick up as a yeoman, I think, could very easily translate into that kind of civilian career. Even if you're trying to like start your own business or something, then I think the yeoman skills could be good to learn for like that kind of career path. And then this one here, damage controlman, they're in charge of like fixing things, and they kind of have to be like a jack of all trade in terms of like fixing things like on a ship or on like the shore facilities. They need to know like a bit of plumbing, a bit of welding, a bit of like maybe painting, things like that to be able to kind of like, yeah, it's like I said, they're like a jack of all trades when it comes to like fixing problems that come up on the ship or like on the shore facility. So yeah, this could be cool if you like working with your hands and you kind of you want to do something kind of hands-on type work. Like I think a lot of it has to do with like plumbing and stuff. I think it also involves like firefighting too. It can be like quite exciting. I think it involves like some firefighting and some like emergency repairs on ships and things like that. Yeah, cool stuff that can be exciting. To be honest, I don't know that much about this rating either because on the reserve side, I don't encounter too many of these damage controlmen. But yeah, I'd recommend like talking to your recruiter or checking out the Coast Guard website. And yeah, these other two, like I said, like musician and investigator, these are like unusual ones that I don't even really know. I don't even really know what the path is to like sign up for those. So if you're interested in any of those two, I'm not even sure if colorblind people are allowed to do those two. But I would say like talk to your recruiter about those. But yeah, those are like specialized ratings that are kind of different from the other ones. But yeah, so that's all I have for this video. Just some like quick information for you guys. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, like I really recommend like talking to a recruiter about it. But if you're still at the stage where you're like not even sure yet if you want to talk to a recruiter, then you can also like ask me in the comments too. I can try to like give some information. It's like I said, like I found the Coast Guard to be like a very rewarding experience to me. Things like cool like public service to be doing. I found to be like very rewarding, and I'm happy with my decision to sign up for it. But again, like it's not going to be the right decision for everybody. So I think it's good, like before you sign up, to like kind of get a lot of information and kind of see if it's the right decision for you. You know what I mean? But yeah, if anyone has any questions, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer them. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.